Today, I want to talk about the two types of discomfort. Welcome to this edition of Tuesday Talks with Twyla. So, our brain will often offer to us that staying where we are, staying the same, is the better choice. And it will even convince us that it comes without discomfort. And the reason we believe it is because what staying the same is common. And it's comfortable in that it's common, it's what we know, but it's not comfortable. It's not happiness and bliss. It's actually uncomfortable. But the alternative is also uncomfortable. So we have to pick our discomfort. But here's what I want you to know is one keeps you where you are, not moving forward, not expanding and growing, not accomplishing your goals, not achieving the things that you want. And so it's a dream stealer to stay where we are. And here's the thing, our human bodies are designed to want to grow and expand. So it's just natural for us to want to be moving, to be expanding, to be growing, to be learning, to be changing, to not stay the same, to not do the same thing over and over, to not live in the same maybe unprogressive patterns, right? But we don't realize this because our brain will convince us that this is the better choice. And if you're like me, you'll find this to be very discouraging, very frustrating, because we should be able to believe our brain, right? And it just feels like you should be able to trust that. And you can, but I just want you to know that there is an alternative here. There is an opportunity for us to choose something different that creates a different life, that creates a different outcome, that actually has us growing and expanding and learning more and doing more and feeling good about accomplishing new things or accomplishing our goals or our intentions. And that feeling by far outweighs the discomfort that comes along with it. I'm not here to tell you that it's without discomfort, that it's without challenges, that it's easy, right? Because what we're choosing now is easy because it's common. And this path over here that is fraught with growth and expansion and new things and achieving our goals and breaking out of old patterns. It might be breaking out of patterns like procrastination, doing things when you say you're going to do them, committing to yourself and keeping that commitment. What would all of that feel like? Some of it feels uncomfortable, right? Some of that feels like maybe fear or uncertainty, and it's new or different. And our brain does not like that. Our brain will convince you to go back to the common, to go back to the familiar, because it's certain. Even if it's uncomfortable, it's certain. It knows what it is. It's been doing it. It's been playing this on repeat. It's been playing it on autopilot. It's what we're used to. But that doesn't mean it's comfortable. It doesn't mean it's the right choice. It doesn't mean that there isn't something better out there for us. And both paths are paved with discomfort. So I want you to know that, because when you do, you might think, then why am I staying here? And that is the right question to be asking. And there'll be times where you'll lean back into that, because of course your brain will always without fail, offer you the path of least resistance. It will be the path of commonality, of what we know, what we've always done, the programming that's been running for years. It will always want us to stay the same, because that's how we don't exert energy. That's how we stay safe. That's our survival mechanism. And we appreciate that, right? It has grown the human race to where we are today with all of the opportunities that we have. We had to survive in order to evolve. So we appreciate that, right? It also saves us from stepping into traffic. It saves us from, not being scared when we see a bear in the woods, right? It helps us get our spidey sense up when you're walking down a dark alley and you hear a noise, or you're just walking in a dark parking lot and you hear a noise. It's what keeps us safe, and we appreciate that. So when you can recognize that that's just part of who we are and how we are designed, then we can look at this with a more objective perspective. Okay, if I'm going to be uncomfortable anyway, do I want to be uncomfortable over here, staying stuck, staying in the same? Or do I want to break out of that into something new, something different? I'll still be uncomfortable, but also I get all of these other things with it. I get all these other added benefits. I get these other side effects of being proud of my accomplishments, trying new things, learning new things, changing and evolving and growing. All of that is available to us on this other path. It's still uncomfortable. It still is challenging. It still is maybe fraught with a lot of fear and anxiety and worry because it's new, it's different. But it is also the place where all the growth and expansion takes place, where we can dream and achieve and set new goals, set bigger goals, do new things that we can be proud of. All of that's available there. But just know that your brain will always offer you to stay where you are, to stay the same, to stay in this level of discomfort. Now, I'm not going to try to compare and contrast the discomfort, right? It's uncomfortable in both places. I think what happens over here is the discomfort we're used to, we don't even realize is there. And we ignore the thoughts or the feelings of stagnation, of boredom, of is there more to life? We ignore all of that. Maybe that little whisper of our heart for something different, or is this our purpose, or what are we here for? Is this all life is, right? We're just used to hearing those questions bubble up, and we're used to, right, putting them under the rug or avoiding them. And in today's world, ignoring them is very easy, right? Because we have lots of distractions at our fingertips. We have our little cell phone that is loaded with everything that you could ever imagine for a distraction. Funny videos, doom scrolling, social media, TikTok, right? Like there's all these things that will just mindlessly numb you for hours without even realizing it. So when you have that discomfort, when you have that maybe whisper of wanting something different, it's so easy to avoid it, to distract away from it. And over here, where you choose something different, and there's a new discomfort, there's a new fear, a new worry, something totally different, and there's discomfort there that comes with, right, some of these new emotions. And this path is active. It's moving, it's progressing, it's evolving, it's changing, right? It's not just sitting and staying over here in distraction mode. And that exerts energy, and that requires courage, and that requires critical thinking, maybe, and that requires the growth and expansion that's needed. Deciding what a goal might be that you're going to achieve, just making the decision, right? Allowing yourself to dream about a possibility, entertaining something different for your life, and believing in it enough to choose this path, to choose something different. Right? All of that is different emotions, and all of them have to be felt. That's part of this path. And there's a lot of us that avoid our emotions, and sometimes without even realizing, right? Sometimes we will have something come up and we'll turn to our phone and we don't realize what we're doing, that we are avoiding any kind of negative emotion. We're just simply avoiding it. We're not learning how to face it. We're not learning how to feel it. We're not learning what to do with it. We don't even learn what it means, why it's there, right? We distract away from all of it, and it's so easy to do. And I think this is the other piece. That distraction can happen without us even realizing it. So it's not intentional, right? It's not like this emotion comes up or something comes up that we don't want to experience, and we consciously decide, I don't want to feel that. I'm going to go scroll on my phone. We don't do that, right? It all happens so seamlessly that it comes up and we grab our phone, and hours go by or minutes go by or whatever, and it has passed. And it's like, oh, I need to be doing this thing. And then off we go, right? We don't even realize that we have distracted ourselves away from feeling something. What was that? What was there? Why was it there? What's behind it? None of that happens. Not even the intention to say, I'm not feeling that today. I'm not dealing with that today. I'll deal with that later. I'm going to go do this instead. It's not a conscious decision. It's part of that programming. It's part of our default mode. It's part of our new process, our new programming. It's just what we do all day, every day. That phone probably isn't outside of arm's reach, right? Ever. You'd never have to deal with anything if you don't want to. But that's why I'm here talking about this, because even I notice that I do this, and I try to be very conscious. I try to be very intentional. And yet I have these same patterns where without even realizing, I'll just grab my phone. And sometimes I'll be grabbing my phone to check my calendar or set an alarm or do something intentional. And before I even get that task accomplished, I have been distracted and scrolled away into something else. And I didn't accomplish the thing I needed. Oh, yeah, I was going to look at my calendar. Oh, yeah, I was going to set that alarm. I just had that happen last week. Grabbed my phone before I went to bed and got distracted on something, set my phone down, went to sleep, never set my alarm. And it made me realize that we slip into these patterns without realizing it, without being intentional. So if we're consciously deciding, that's one thing. This is coming up. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to set it aside. I'm consciously deciding. That's what I want for all of us, is to do it intentionally. Because when you do, you have the opportunity to make a different choice. You have the opportunity to consider this other path. But when it's all happening without us realizing, we're not making the conscious decision. And so the decision's been made, right? We're not doing this thing over here, but are we consciously, intentionally deciding that? Or are we just continuing to play this program because that's what's loaded, that's what's there, that's what's common, that's what we know, that's what we've been doing? But if we had the opportunity to choose, to consciously decide, intentionally decide, would we still decide that? If they're both uncomfortable anyway, if there's discomfort in both paths, why would we choose this one? Because it's easy, because it's comfortable, right? That's what you're answering right now. And that one is new and different and seems like a lot of work and seems really hard and seems really scary. Right? What does this come with for benefits, for side effects, for, positive outcomes? Right? None. None. This one over here, this same discomfort comes with pride, comes with happiness, comes with excitement, comes with nervousness and worry and fear, but it comes with intention. It comes with deciding and living and choosing your life the way you want it to be. That's what's over here. That's what's available to us. If we allow it, if we open up to it, if we believe it's possible for us, even if we dabble and then get worried or we just slip back in without realizing it. Oh, I've been doing this again. I got to go back over here, right? Just knowing both possibilities are there, understanding that there's discomfort anyways, that neither one of these versions of our life is without grief or sadness or negativity. It's just not. Our life will always be the contrast. It will always be some happiness and some sadness. It has to be. And when you can embrace that, because you don't have happiness without sadness. How do you even know what it is if you don't have the contrast? So we have to have both. That's how we allow the appreciation, the gratitude. We don't get any of that if we don't have the contrast, right? So we have to understand and be open to all of these concepts and ideas and embrace them for how it works for us, how we can use our negativity to see the positive, to remind ourselves that that's not where we want to live, that that happened or that this is going on, and yet I choose something different. And that's always available. It's always there for us to choose. It doesn't come without discomfort, but neither one does, right? This one just keeps you stuck. Like I just imagine stuck in the puddle, stuck in the mud. I just imagine mud boots in the mud. Like you're stuck, you can't move, you don't move. You're either on the hamster wheel, playing Groundhog's Day, day after day, and avoiding what real life is, avoiding decisions, avoiding intentions, avoiding goal setting, dreaming, deciding, choosing. That's all available over here. But over here, we're just avoiding all of it. We're just staying in the same. And there is probably a time and a place for that, as long as it's conscious and intentional deciding that we're going to choose this right now. This is what I need to do for myself right now. But I know that's available. I know it's waiting for me. And I'm going to choose that. I'm going to consider that. Whatever that is, I get to decide what that is. That path is a clean slate. We get to put in, decide, we get to choose, we get to dream and decide and design all of it. That's what's available on this side. Not without discomfort. They both have discomfort. But this one has possibility and pride and happiness and excitement and doing new things, growing and expanding, feeling that inside of us, actually living our life. That's what our bodies are designed to do. That's why we're restless over here. That's why we're uncomfortable and we have that conflict and that pit in our stomach. That all lives over here. And it just stays there because it's not how we were designed to live. We're designed to live over here. And if you want to know if that's true, look around you. We don't live in the cave anymore. We live in a world where someone dreamed everything that you see around you, every single thing. This printer, this monitor, this MacBook, right? All of this, none of this existed how many years ago? A computer that's so tiny, right? I have the smallest one. I still have a 6. It's just super tiny, right? This is a supercomputer. Remember the supercomputers back in the day? They were gigantic. And yet they didn't exist back in the caveman days. Right? All of that has evolved and come to fruition because somebody had a dream. Somebody had a vision. Somebody moved outside of the comfort zone. They listened. They followed their calling. They did something new and different. They faced their fears. They faced their discomfort. And we get to enjoy all of that around us, but not just for us to stay stuck where we are, to stay the same and live in the same program day after day. It's all available. What will you choose? This discomfort or that discomfort? There's discomfort on both sides. This one is not progressive. This one is staying stuck. This one is progressive. Which one do you want? Until next week, have an amazing week.